Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Chargers coming off their bye. They're 2-2. Broncos are 3-2. Chargers favored by 3 here in Denver. A minuscule over-under of 35.5. This is Jim Harbaugh's NFL, my friend.
In action.
This is Jim Harbaugh's NFL.
Yeah, well, his defense, the Chargers' defense, been one of the best in the NFL so far. Only the Vikings' defense under Flores has been better in scoring drive rate that they've given up.
Ooh, I like it.
The Chargers are second to the Jets and a bunch of other metrics. Like, this has genuinely been one of the best defenses in the NFL, which he's doing exactly what, like, remember for years we had said this defense was a powerhouse in waiting if they could just get the scheme to take advantage of the talent that they had, and they were systematically unable to do that. Harbaugh's come in and like overnight flipped the switch with Jesse Minter, right, and been able to make this happen like instantly. So now this becomes like Bo Nix has had a couple of good games strung together, hasn't made so many mistakes. Big challenge now. Can you keep doing that against a really good defense?
Just using overall points per game allowed, the two best teams as far as fewest points allowed. Chargers at 12.5, Broncos at 14.6. Again, one of my stories coming into the season was the hype of Denver's defense. They have impressed, especially the last 3 weeks. Patrick Surtain balling out, playing like the high-end corner that he is in a pressure situation, right, where he's playing against a lot of the top receivers, and Denver's ability to create a pass rush with several different players, and then another team that is having success with when they send 5, when they send 6, when they start to put a little indecision into opposing offenses. They've been outstanding at that over these last few weeks. I think Bo Nix making strides overall as well. I mentioned the other day he had a couple plays that looked like Drew Brees, right? Just take it for what it's worth, right? Ran through his progressions quick. He did the over the top at the goal line. I think there's a certain comfort level that Nix is bringing to the table. But I'm really curious from a Chargers perspective. Their pass game has just been terrible. And as much as we joke about Jim Harbaugh wanting to run, 7 tight ends out there and 4 fullbacks and run the ball like crazy, like at some point you have to be able to win through the air. And they're coming off a Chiefs game where they were up 10-0. They still had to put more points on the board, and they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't run the ball. And we know Justin Herbert's capable of more. So what is that balance? The guy's got 530 passing yards or something this year. They really have turned him into a college-esque, J.J. McCarthy-esque, game manager.
Well, not just that, but he has by far the highest turnover-worthy play rate of his career so far. Like, remember, Herbert had typically been the best quarterback in football at protecting the football.
Not actually managing the game properly.
Yeah, so he had 2 straight years where he had a turnover-worthy play rate of like 1.6, 1.7%, the best in the NFL. And you're like, actually, in a weird way, we know he's capable of more, but actually in a strange way, Herbert is the perfect game manager quarterback. Like, he's capable of spectacular plays, but he also protects the ball better than any quarterback in the NFL. He's like, he's actually sort of designed to do this. And yet it hasn't worked because suddenly in reducing what you ask him to do, his turnover-worthy play rate has spiked through the roof. Now, okay, it hasn't resulted actually in that many turnovers. We got 1 interception. But we also, remember, you've made the point he's got more injuries than wins or whatever. Like, the dude is banged up despite theoretically being protected by a much lower volume passing attack. So I'm not saying Justin Herbert is a problem, but whether it's injuries, whether it's the offense, he needs to play better than he's played through the first 4 games.
All right, let's make our picks really quick, though. On Herbert, another one maybe we put aside for a later discussion. I've made the point, QB wins I think are informative over time.
Yep.
Herbert's had a lot of different offensive coordinators, a lot of different styles, a lot of different schemes. They're 2-2. We don't know enough about the Chargers yet, but is he playing up and down to the situation that he's played in rather than being able to take over, carry the team? Something to keep an eye on for Herbert. I've been impressed by Denver. Chargers coming out of the bye, hopefully a little bit healthier. What are your thoughts here on this game? Chargers by 3 here on the road.
I'm going to go with the Chargers based off the impact that I think their defense will have on Bo Nix. Like, I think we might see a spike again in mistakes from Nix. I'm
actually really looking forward to this game despite the 35.5 snow game type of over-under that you have here. Denver's been...
You're just a fan of good defense.
I am a fan of good defense. I've been impressed by what Denver's doing. They're making life difficult for opposing offenses. So I'm taking Denver in this one. As the underdogs, Harry also going to take Denver here.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.